Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I have some kind of mental disease, I think, because I thought, okay, it's been 3 days, I should make another podcast, but come to find out it's been like 5 or 6 days, and I'm just horrified. Well, not actually horrified, I'm just disappointed in myself. But time flies when you're having fun, or even when you're miserable, and it gets away from you sometimes. I'm sure you can understand. It's like when you're watching porn all day, but you got people around you. You can't jerk off. You can't do anything about it. But then when you get a chance to be alone, it's like, oh, it's a party of jizz. Just everywhere. Yay. This is my party of jizz. Because I wasn't aware that it had been that long. But as always, I want to thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, and of course, sharing if you're watching on the YouTubes. Sharing is important. Sharing is caring. Unless, of course, we're talking about syphilis or AIDS. In that case, keep it to yourself. Nobody else wants it. It's a horrible Christmas gift. Don't give it to anyone else. Keep it inside. And if you're listening on Anchor.fm or Spotify or somewhere like that, I appreciate you listening. There's a few of you, not many, but there are a few that bother to put up with my bullshit podcast, for 20, 25 minutes at a time. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So thank you. I am not a huge sports ball guy, all right? I don't see a lot of value in sports. I don't understand what it's about. I mean, I kind of understand in the basic sense that since the beginning of time, man has always been competitive. We, human beings in general, are competitive. Like even when I'm playing video games and let's say I'm in a multiplayer match, I come in second. I'm like, oh, look, I came in second. That's great. That's awesome. There were 16 people in there. I'm number 2. Great. But on the inside, I'm seething because I'm like, I should have been number 1. Just a couple more kills. If I would have done this, if I would have done that, I'd be okay. And I get miserable. So I can kind of understand that. But I don't get the competitiveness of professional sports. I never have. I never will. And I'm not talking about the guys who play the game. In my opinion, the guys that play sports are the ones that should be the most concerned. They are the ones out there putting their bodies on the line and wrecking themselves and doing this and doing that. Winning and losing, it means more to them than it ever will to somebody like me. And they have the right to complain and, celebrate. But sometimes that's a way out of poverty for a lot of people. Like they grow up in a place where they're drinking their milk out of an old tin can that used to contain some cream corn, because they can't afford glasses and anything like that. They're licking the sauce out of, off of paper plates because they don't have any dishes. And I understand, so they're really good at sports, and then they go on to play them as children. They get good. They go to high school. They get even better. And then maybe they get a full scholarship to college. That's awesome. That's great. The American dream, right? You're going to college. You're getting an education. You're playing your favorite sport. And then maybe some scouts come and check you out. And then all of a sudden you're in the big leagues. You're getting that big money, that big contract, and that's all good. So you play on a professional team for a few years, and then one day they, you murder your mistress, or you murder your wife, who you found out is having sex with the coach behind your back, and then you get arrested and you die lonely and penniless in prison. It's the American dream, I tell you. Or maybe the opposite happens. Maybe you have a nice long career of 10, 12 years, and then once you quit, you realize, oh my God, my accountant fucked me over. People have been nickeling and diming me to death, and they're bending me over a table, and all my lawyer fees, and all my taxes are all fucked up, and now I'm just screwed. I owe the government $3 billion or something. And you do the next natural best thing, which is to start a bar, attach your name to it because you're the big name that everybody knows from the sports thing, and you go on and hopefully make $50,000 a year to live for the rest of your life. It could go either way, is what I'm saying. But I have nothing against the people that play the sports. I understand it. I get it. But it's the people that don't play the sports that I take issue with, because it's one thing to root for a team. It's one thing to say, this is my favorite team, and I hope they win, and I hope they go to the championship, and I hope they win the trophy, the ring, the whatever it is, you know. But there's so much violence involved in that. And that's always been a thing, you know, soccer hooligans always, getting into these riots with the opposite team just because they root for the opposite team, and they have to shut down the game, they have to close the stadium, people are tearing up seats, setting the place on fire. I never understood that kind of attachment to a sports team. They seem to talk a lot about balls. It's like the baseball, the football, the basketball, and almost every other sport has a little bit of balls in there. I think there's too much ball talk. People get angry with each other online, and they all sit there and go, if I was the coach, if it was me in charge, I would have done this and this and this, and they probably would not have. But those other people, I'm like, I don't understand. I don't get it. If anything, my favorite sport is ice hockey, actually. Because ice hockey is kind of like all the other sports combined, if you think about it. Listen, they have a really long season, like baseball, right? They might get a day off here and there, but basically they're playing almost every night during the season. Not one of them 16 games a year, bullshit. They hit as hard, if not harder, than American football. Got to give it to them for that. They have to play both offense and defense going up and down the rink, just like basketball players do up and down the court. And they have to do all of that on a very slippery surface. It's ice. So if anything, I'm all for the ice hockey. I think it combines all the best of all the other sports. And there's fighting involved. I mean, come on, what other sport where the referees just kind of sit back and let two guys take off their gloves and helmet and just beat the shit out of each other until one or both of them go down before they step in and go, okay, we've had enough of this. Now you both go, you get a penalty, you get a little slap on the wrist, you know, they get a little tickle of the balls, you're going to go in there for like 2 minutes, maybe 4 minutes if it was very bad. No other sport I know of. So I like it. So I just don't understand the obsession with sports. I mean, what is it about having a favorite team or having a favorite brand? Because that's all they are now. They're just brands. They're not even really sports team anymore. They're brands. Sponsored by ABC, sponsored by Viagra, sponsored by Blue Chew, blah, blah, blah. All right? But you're basically voting for a brand, and you're getting mad when they lose, and you're trying to blame someone else. It was the referee, it was that other guy over there on the sidelines that I think he tripped my guy. You know, this guy probably blew the game on purpose because he's getting paid. It's conspiracy theories. It's a whole bunch of nonsense, and they're trying to get in fights with each other online. Like, hey, if I ever come to Chicago, I'm going to beat your ass. And that's something else I never really could figure out is why people think if they're from a certain place, they're actually tougher than people from somewhere else. You know, you hear about and see that all the time. You get in a fight with someone, he rips off his shirt, and he starts bouncing up and down, showing you you know, his muscles or his six-pack or maybe even the keg if he's a little fat guy. But he'd be like, you don't want none of this, man. I'm from fucking Chicago. I will fuck you up. Like being from Chicago, people are supposed to go, oh, whoa, okay. I didn't realize you were from the Windy City. Because, hey, the Windy City is, that's a tough sounding name there. I should just back the fuck off. I give up. You know, people do that from Chicago, from Detroit, from New York. They think where they're from makes them a tough guy. And the thing is, like, surely people lose fights in Chicago and Detroit and New York. There's fights going on there all the time. Somebody always loses. I don't think it matters where you're from. I just think it matters if you can fight. Give me a guy from Connecticut that's never been in a fight before but has a natural instinct for it. He'll probably knock a guy out from Chicago who's lived in the street all his life just because he thinks that reputation is going to get him somewhere, you know. And it never will. So yeah, I'm confused about the whole sports thing. Hey, maybe you know something I don't. Maybe you feel passionate about it. Maybe you want to sound off. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Because I have no idea. But whatever it is, it's far less important than some of the shit being said in the United States Congress and Senate. Oh my God, people. I can't remember if it was a senator or a congressman, but they were interviewing some folks from the Forestry Department and BLM. Not Black Lives Matter, but Bureau of Land Management. Basically, these are the people who manage the national parks and things in America. That's what they do. They take care of all the national parks. It's a great thing. It's a good thing. They're trying to protect it. But either a senator or a congressman, one of the two, like I said, I forget which one it was in, but he seriously looked at them and said, during this interview, talking about climate change, he said, will you look into if we can reverse climate change by changing the way the moon orbits around the Earth, or if we can change the way the Earth orbits around the sun? And maybe that would help us with climate change. What? Are you fucking kidding me here? This is an elected representative. This is somebody our tax dollars are paying every year to make decisions for us. And he thinks we're going to do a Jim Carrey, what was that? Not Man on the Moon, but the other one where he had all the superpowers, and we're going to lasso the moon and pull it closer and swing it a little faster to reverse climate change or do something to the Earth, drill to the core, maybe plant some dynamite, blow it up so we spin a little less fast around the sun, or some other bullshit. He actually thinks that's possible from a scientific standpoint. Our elected representatives actually asked that question, and it boggles my fucking mind. How? This is incredible. Simply because he thought the money they want to spend on coming up with alternative sources of energy and cleaner emissions and all that was a little bit drastic, because of course he wants all that coal money coming in. That's what it was all about. But he asked that seriously, and I got to give it to the people that sit there and hear these goddamn stupid questions from people like that, because the person just simply said, well, we'll look into that and get back to you. I don't know how they can be so patient and so kind when faced. I mean, this is a guy who's watched way too much science fiction and very little actual science to figure out how things work here. But again, he's an elected representative of the United States, so we pay this man's salary to sit there and ask stupid fucking questions like that. Can we just control the way the moon revolves around the Earth? No, we can't. Can we control the way the Earth revolves around the sun? No, we can't. That's not... that's never been plasticized before in science. We don't have control over that. The universe has control over that. Nothing we can do about it. Like I said, there's enough space junk out in space that at any time, even before you're done watching this video, something could hit Earth with such an impact and be so big that it kills us all instantly. Life is chaotic. Life is unpredictable. We never know when it's going to end, but that doesn't mean we still can't laugh at shit like that. And we should laugh at shit like that. That's the kind of thing we were meant to laugh at, in my opinion. It's ridiculous. But anyway, this is the kind of thing coming out of our Congress, coming out of our Senate, and that's why things don't get done anymore. Everybody has a side. Nobody's willing to compromise, and stupid conspiracy theories and shit that will never make any scientific sense gets brought up, and we're just kind of stuck in a rut, I guess. But that's all right, because we still have free porn on the internet, and that's all that really matters in the end. Right? Am I right? I think I'm right. All right, that's going to do it for this one. Hey guys, check out all my links down below if you want to send me money. My PayPal address is down there. I appreciate it. I need beer. I need food. Probably condoms. You should probably start thinking about that, because you never know what lurks in the vaginas of the women folk. Also down below are links to a live show app. That's a good app, man. They have comedians. They do sets, 3 to 5 minutes every day of the week, 3 times a day. And it's absolutely free to download and listen, and you can perform if you want, although you don't have to, so be sure to check it out. My Twitter's down below. Send me a tweet, send me a twat, send me a twit, send me a Twix. Who doesn't love Twix? I'll dip it in some ice cream. That's always a good treat. Do whatever you need to do, but that's also down below. And if you want to be a guest on the podcast, let me know. We can do something remotely. We got Zoom, we got Google Meet, we got Skype. We have all these other options available. I'd love to have you. We can make it long. We can make it short. However much time you have. There's an email address down below in the description. Email me. Let me know. I live in Cambodia, if you don't know. There will be a delay in time, but we will make it happen. I'm just good that way. What can I tell you? Unlike sex, I'm good. In that respect. All right. Thank you guys for watching, liking, subscribing, and listening. And I will talk to you in the next one. Look at my hand, my big hand trying to shut off my